Hi guys. I just realized I forgot to mention that Danny, Sav, and James were also friends from being on the football team together and all of that. So I forgot to mention that. But yes, Jane, Sav, and Danny were also friends from being in a band, but also being on the football team. Sorry, this is editing, Kayla. I just realized that. Okay. Bye. Hi guys, so Degrassi Friendships 8 through 14 today. I've got all of this to get through and 2 pages over here. So like I said, there are going to be a lot more friendships, but please bear with me as we go through this list, okay? So here we're going to talk about the friendship seasons 8 through 14. Let's go. So Adam and Allie. Adam and Allie, I think, were really good friends for the fact that, you know, in season 11, they were always seen talking together and hanging out together, especially with Jenna. I think the 3 of them were kind of like a really close friendship. But also when Allie started dating Dave, her and Adam got closer together because Adam was very close with Dave. And I think it was just like a really good friendship because even after she stopped dating Dave, they still were like at least cool with each other. On friends. Adam and Connor. Adam and Connor were kind of those friends that you wouldn't expect to be friends, but they were. Like we saw they were on the science decathlon team together. I can't remember exactly what it's called. They were on English. They were on the decathlon team together. And they were seen hanging out various different points because, you know, Connor was also friends with Dave and Adam was friends with Dave. So they kind of just started hanging out together. Dave and Adam, again, they had a bit of a rocky start to their friendship, but they did eventually become friends, and they were really good friends when they became friends. And Dave started to be accepting, and then Dave started to try to help Adam, you know, when he thought that maybe Katie liked Adam and tried to set them up, and he was trying to do nice things for Adam like that. Adam and Imogen. I liked Adam and Imogen's friendship. I think it was really sweet, and when she started to get a crush on him, I found that even cuter. I know that he was with Becky, and obviously he wasn't going to cheat. I just think it was kind of cute that their friendship kind of morphed into her having a crush. But yeah, I mean, Adam and Imogen, we didn't see a lot of their friendship. I know they were in Whisper Hug and like all that, but we didn't see too much of their friendship. It's all the writers. Again, we just saw that like she was basically telling him, ooh, that girl's looking at you, like with the whole Missy thing, and yeah, we just didn't see much. Adam and Jenna. Adam and Jenna, again, they were seen with Allie when the whole gambling plot line was happening, and you know, they didn't hang out much beyond that because it's just the writers. Like, they didn't add much of Adam and Jenna. Like, they just didn't do that. Adam and Maya, this has a question mark because I don't know if they were necessarily friends. I know they were in a band together, but I don't know if they were necessarily friends. Allie and Cam, this also has a question mark because I don't know if they were friends. I know she tutored him in season 12, but I don't know if they were necessarily friends. I mean, she did give him advice for getting Maya back, so maybe. I thought more of an acquaintance kind of thing. Allie and Eli. Allie and Eli being friends, of course, comes from the fact that Eli was dating Claire when, like, season 12, when he had, like, it was out. But also, he invited her to come see, you know, the work he'd been doing with Dave on the musical and everything, Romeo and Jules. So they kind of started a friendship after he started dating Claire in season 12, and then their friendship just continued from there. Allie and Jenna. Allie and Jenna were really close. They were close even before Jenna was close with Claire because of the whole KC thing. But no, Allie and Jenna were really close. They had each other's back when Jenna tried to help Allie get Johnny back. And then the whole thing with, you know, Allie kind of turning on her because she stole KC from Claire, but then Allie getting over that and Allie becoming friends with her. And it was just a whole back and forth thing. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I want to say something from the last episode. I forgot to add this at the beginning, so just a little preface. Spinner does talk to Holly J in season 8 about the giving Mia a bad press thing. I know this is season 8. I just wanted to let you know, yes, I did figure it out. It was season 8. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. But yeah, Allie and Jenna, they were always there for each other. Okay. Allie and Anya, and I wrote more acquaintance-like. Because Allie and Anya weren't really friends, it was more acquaintance because Anya was dating Sav, who was Allie's older brother. So it was more of an acquaintance, more of like a mentor type thing. Like she helped her out in that one episode where they went on that camping trip, you know, and she was helping her figure out how to do the game and things like that. So Anya and Shantae, again, they were on the Spirit Squad together, and the Power Squad is what it got named. They were on the Power Squad together, and they also were in the lifeguarding class or the CPR class together, and Shantae was there with all the stuff that happened between Owen and Anya in that class and things like that. But yeah, they didn't have many interactions after that. Oh, one interaction they did have, which I just remembered right now, is when everyone was trying to get their clubs back and Shantae started that and Anya was working with her. That's the thing I forgot. Anya and Fiona. I loved Anya and Fiona. Don't get me wrong, because I feel like Anya really understood Fiona a lot better when she came out, because Anya already had Riley as a friend and already witnessed that. So I feel like Anya was there to help Fiona, and when Anya found out Fiona had a crush on Holly J, she did keep her secret until, you know, she thought Holly J was leading Fiona on by accident, and then she had to tell Holly J. But I really feel like Anya was telling Holly J, you know, stop trying to set her up with people, stop doing this, stop doing that, because you're just like pressuring her and pushing her away. And I feel like Anya was a good friend to have to Fiona, because she really did support her. Anya and Leia. I liked Anya and Leia's friendship. I don't know why it ended. I don't know why they just stopped talking. I mean, because Leia got black holed. But I really liked Anya and Leia's friendship because, you know, she was just looking for somebody to help her through her mom getting diagnosed with cancer. And Leia was there because she had an aunt that had cancer. And so she was there for her. And she was just there for her through pretty much everything. Anya and Mia. Anya and Mia were a cute friendship. Again, then Mia ended up leaving, so then they weren't, but they were a cute friendship because, again, Mia standing up for Anya in season 7, like we talked about last week, you know, they were just really cute friendship. Imogen and Becky. I loved Imogen and Becky's friendship. It's one of my favorite friendships because, you know, Imogen's trying to help Becky, you know, figure out, like, you know, like things about sex and everything, because Becky is like, doesn't, like, she's innocent, she doesn't know about that type of stuff, and Imogen's trying to help her. And then Becky was trying to help Imogen grow some ovaries and ask Jack out and things like that. And I think they were just a cute friendship because they were always down to try to help each other. And Imogen telling Becky that all Adam wanted to do was like hear her voice and message her and apologize. I think it was good that Imogen helped Becky get some closure. Becky and Jack. Becky and Jack were friends while, you know, like Imogen was into her, and I know that they kind of got off on a rocky foot at first because, you know, Becky thought Jack was trying to steal her best girlfriend away. But then when they found out that, no, Jack wants to be friends with Becky too, and Jack's not trying to steal Imogen, you know, then they kind of figured out their things. Becky and Jenna. I don't know if Becky and Jenna, oh yeah, Becky and Jenna, I'm sorry, I was thinking of somebody else. Becky and Jenna definitely were friends season 12, and I think it was really cute how close they were because Jenna just really wanted a friend and Becky was there, and Becky, you know, she invited her to do music and she didn't tell Jenna it was a religious thing, but Jenna later got baptized even though she did it for Becky's brother, and then Becky's brother threw her to the side. The point is that, you know, Becky really helped her and Jenna really helped Becky with the whole Adam thing and trying to, you know, help her, you know, be able to tell her parents. And become more accepting of Adam. Becky and Todd. That was just for season 13 in the summer. I don't know much about Todd. I feel like he was putting the moves on Becky, so we're not going to talk about Todd. Bianca and Adam. Bianca and Adam is super cute because obviously Drew dating Bianca. Bianca got to know Adam. They started at a bit of a rocky start, but it got really cute by season 11 at the prom when Becky and Adam were dancing together, and by season 12 when she was with Drew. It was a really cute friendship, and they were super, like, they were hanging out all the time, playing Xbox, like by the Nowhere to Run. They were playing Xbox together, watching horror movies, like doing all those types of things. Bianca and Audra. Audra is a mother figure to Bianca, and I love Bianca and Audra's relationship because she's like a mother to her, and she's always trying to help her. And, you know, it's just, I feel like Audra really loved Bianca, and she really wanted the best for her, and she really wanted to be there for her. Bianca and Becky. Bianca and Becky were for a short time after Adam had passed. You can see Bianca come up to Becky and hug her, and I feel like it was really sweet of her to be there for her because, you know, that was Adam's girlfriend, so she wanted to be there for her. Bianca and Fitz. Bianca and Fitz, I don't think they were friends for very long, and they were just assholes at the time, so, you know. Bianca and Imogen friendship. It was a very short friendship in season 11, but it was nice because that way Bianca had someone who could help her escape from time with Vince. She was able to, she got her detention, which then made her escape from Vince, and, you know, and they just, you know, I think it was really cute because Imogen was trying to help Bianca. Bianca and Casey. So Bianca and Casey, they were on the Academic Quiz Bowl team together in season 12, and they were really close with each other. Bianca was kind of close with Casey's mom too, but they were kind of close, and they talked about everything, and when his dad came back, they talked about that, and I feel like it was really good for them to have those conversations with each other. Bianca and Lisa Guthrie. Obviously, Lisa Guthrie was more like a mother figure to Bianca. She just wanted to know about her relationship, about her life at school, about what was going on, kind of like how, you know, a lot of adults that, you know, ask you that, like if you're friends with their child and they ask you, well, how's school going, and things like that, you know. Bianca and Owen. I don't know if Bianca and Owen were ever like close because they never really had any interactions on camera together except that one science class. So I don't know if they were ever really close. Shantae and Fiona. Shantae and Fiona, again, they somehow were friends by the time that all of them took Holly J out for a prom celebration because Holly J couldn't go to the prom because of her surgery being on the day of prom. I don't know. I mean, they were in the musical together, kind of, but I don't really know. Shantae and Jenna. Shantae and Jenna, they were on the Power Squad together. They had many chats about when she was on Next Teen Star. They had chats about the Power Squad. They had chats about her being pregnant. They had many chats. Many chats. Shantae and Leia. You know, I don't know about oh, well, I do know one interaction about Shantae and Leia is when she told Leia to break up with Danny because he would want her back and it didn't work. That's the only interaction I could think of between the two of them. Shantae and Mia. Obviously, the whole Mia becoming a model thing. Shantae was intrigued, wanted to talk to her about it, wanted to be in her friend group type of thing. That's basically it. Claire and Adam. Claire and Adam had the cutest friendship ever. Claire was always there for Adam, and Claire accepted Adam, which we didn't know if Claire was going to go that way. Claire accepted Adam, and it started one of the cutest trios ever. But Claire accepting, I'm sorry guys, the sun's coming through, so it's a weird thing on my face. Claire accepting Adam was so cute. And when Claire saw Adam self-harming and was like, what are you doing? and like took it out of their hands and, you know, took them somewhere to change into like clothes, and just Claire was always there for Adam. And it's so sweet that Adam was visiting Claire in the hospital when Claire was going through cancer. And it was one of the sweetest things. Claire and Allie had always been there for each other too. You know, when Casey broke up with Claire for Jenna, Allie was really getting on Jenna. Like, why would you do this to her? And then she was all with Claire to get Casey back, but then Claire never tried to get Casey back. And then Allie was like telling Claire to break up with Eli when it was toxic. And then, you know, Claire was helping Allie through the whole thing with Leo, and Jenna also helped Allie with that too. And they were just always there for each other. The reason why I'm not naming what happened with Leo is because it is very triggering, and I do not want to trigger anyone out there. Claire and Becky. Claire and Becky were kind of friends. I think they were more like acquaintances. I don't really remember a time that they ever hung out. I don't think Claire and Becky ever hung out. You can correct me in the comments, but I don't think they ever did. Claire and Dave. Claire and Dave were pretty good friends, and I think that only got stronger by obviously Allie dating Dave, but also Eli was friends with Dave, so Claire kind of ran in the same, you know, thing, and they were friends with Dave. And I mean, Claire and Dave didn't have that many encounters, so I don't know. Claire and Fiona were more acquaintances, I'm gonna call them. I don't think they were ever really friends. They were just acquaintances through Eli because Eli was friends with Fiona. Claire and Imogen. Again, I don't know if Claire and Imogen were ever really friends because, you know, they had that whole Rocky thing with Eli in the past, and then, yeah, I don't know if Claire and Imogen were ever friends. Claire and Jack. Claire and Jack were definitely friends, and they were helping her with her production, and Axe took her to a axe throwing league, and Jack also was the head of the triathlon club, so they got along pretty well. And I guess that's how she kind of got closer with Imogen, I guess, is like through Jack. Claire and Jenna. Claire and Jenna had a rocky start. Obviously, Jenna stole her boyfriend. That's going to give anybody a rocky start. But then Jenna showed her true colors because, you know, in season 12, I think, is when they really started to get better again because, you know, Claire had Eli, and, you know, she seemed closer with Jenna at that point because everything had settled down. She got over the KC thing by season 11. And, you know, Jake and Jenna were just friends, and Claire realized that, and everything was kind of water under the bridge by season 12 on. Claire and Wesley. I think Claire and Wesley were cute friends, and I think they could have continued to be cute friends, except for the fact that, you know, then Wesley got black holed, and him and Claire didn't have many interactions past season 10, because, yeah, they just didn't. It's really on the writers. Claire and Wesley. Okay, we talked about them. Connor and Allie. I think Connor and Allie had a cute friendship. They, of course, had a little bit of a rocky start at first, but then when Connor got diagnosed, that's when Allie started to, you know, she apologized to him for pushing him, and he, you know, thanked her, and that's when they started to be a little closer. And obviously then he became friends with Dave, and she was friends with Dave and Adam and everybody. Just everybody was in like a group with everybody at some point. Connor and Claire. Connor and Claire were really close friends, especially when they first showed up, and Claire was letting him talk about his interests with her, and she told him that he can talk about his interests with her because it doesn't bore her. And I think that's really cute. And then they just stayed. It was nice. And then he started dating Jenna, so then they got even closer. Connor and Dallas. Connor and Dallas, I don't know if there were many interactions between the two until like season 13, season 14, where, you know, they're talking about how he got early acceptance into Caltech, and Dallas was like congratulating him, but beyond that, it's like I don't think they were ever really talking that much. Connor and Dave. Connor and Dave, like I've said, really good friends. Don't I already have Dave and Connor written over here? Didn't we already talk about this? No, okay. Connor and Dave. They're really close friends, and I really love how close they were, especially at Adam's memorial. You can see them like talking to each other and sharing memories, and then Dave got black holed. And they were part of that thing with Wesley called the Three Tenors. Connor and Drew. Connor and Drew, again, I don't really know if they were very much friends as they were acquaintances because they worked on student council together, but I don't know if they were really friends. Connor and Mo. Connor and Mo, they were kind of friends when they were on the football team together. I would call them more acquaintances because they didn't really talk much beyond that. Connor and Wesley. Connor and Wesley were very close. They were the ones that were on the scientific quiz bowl team together. They talked about everything under the sun. They talked about girls, and Wesley tried to help Connor, told Connor to flirt with a girl at the party to try to get with her and everything. And so, and then Wesley was friends with Connor and Dave and all in that group, and they, Ellie and Craig. This is season 8, Ellie and Craig. I feel like she still had a crush on him, never really got over him, but he still wanted to be friends with her, and they had a really close connection, like a really close friend connection that obviously could have been seen as romantic by anybody that looked at it that way. But yeah, like they were very, very close. Craig and Emma. Okay, my phone was blowing up, sorry. Craig and Emma, they were like kind of friends. I don't really count Craig and Emma as friends at this point because they didn't talk. Craig and Marco. Craig and Marco had always been friends for years. Like they were still going to be friends. At this point, they're adults, and Marco's just very like, very, what do you call it? Not encouraging. Marco's very, I guess encouraging, because I can't think of the word. He's very encouraging of his music career and is very happy of how far he's made it, kind of proud of him because he was in the band with him. Dallas and Adam. Dallas and Adam were very close because obviously Dallas is living with Drew and all of them, and so they got really close. But my favorite interaction between Dallas and Adam is in season 13, where he's been sharpening a stick and he says to Adam, "Will this kill a bear?" And it's really funny. Dallas and Becky. Dallas and Becky, they didn't have much of a friendship at season 12. By season 13, because she was dating Adam, the funeral episode, Dallas went up and talked to her and said, "Why wouldn't they want you there? You were his girlfriend," type of thing. And so it's like, he's like, "Can I drive you to the, the reception?" And it's like, "I'm not wanted." Dallas and Cam. I wouldn't call Dallas and Cam friends. I would call Dallas more of a captain of the hockey team. He never really seemed like a friend to Cam. He always tried to push Cam past his limit, and he just never actually listened to Cam, and he never cared about him, honestly. After he dies, you can see that he did care. After Cam sadly ends his own life, you can see that Dallas did start to care about Cam, but it's like he never showed Cam. Well, tough love, but that didn't work. Dallas and Claire. Dallas and Claire became friends by season 13 when they were working on student council together. But in season 12, he did apologize to her. So then that kind of get her to forgive him. But also, like, when they started working on student council is when they really started to get closer. Dallas and Drew. Dallas and Drew had been close since Dallas started rooming with them. And, Dallas and Drew were like as close as brothers. Like they were very close. They were always there for each other. Dallas was there when Drew was going through the breakup with Bianca, and Drew was there for Dallas when he was trying to get Allie and things like that. Dallas and Fiona. Bittersweet Symphony is when they started to be friends again. Their friendship had ended when he crashed Claire's birthday party at her loft, but then he got closer with her by Bittersweet Symphony when she told him to go talk to the grief counselor. Dallas and Imogen. Dallas and Imogen, I don't know if they were ever really friends. I guess I would say they kind of were because she was dating Fiona, I guess. I mean, I don't really know that well. Dallas and Jenna. Dallas and Jenna were kind of friends again. When they started working on student council, I guess, is when they got closer and actually became friends. Dallas and Luke. Dallas and Luke were friends until Luke ended up doing what he did, obviously. So, we'll put that where it is. Dallas and Owen. Dallas and Owen probably only when they were on the Ice Hounds, and even then he didn't really seem to interact with him that much. Dallas and Tristan. Dallas and Tristan, only season 13, only when they were on the basketball team, nothing beyond that. Danny and Anya. Danny and Anya were good friends because Anya was dating Sav and Danny was best friends with Sav and they were in the band together and all of that. Danny and Derek. Danny and Derek, like I said, they were the two fuzzhead annoying friends that were just kind of doing stupid things, and they got rid of all of Derek's character development and they gave Danny all the character development. Danny and Jane, they were in the band Janie and the Studs together, and she was dating Spinner, who was the drummer of the band, and so there was all of that together. So then I'm going to turn the notebook over and I'm going to get the pieces of paper that have the rest of them written down. I'm getting a little comfortable. Don't mind me. Okay. Danny and Sav. So Danny and Sav, they were in the band, obviously Studes and then Janie and the Studs together, but they were probably some of the closest because, they were dating each other's friends at the time. Whether Danny was dating Leia or Danny was dating Shantae, they were both friends with Anya at some point. So, they all just kind of dated people in the same circles and were friends with people in the same circles. Danny and Spinner, I would say they're kind of friends, but then when the whole thing happens with Jane and Spinner, then he never really interacted with Spinner out of the band. Let me just put it that way. Darcy and Jane. I love Darcy and Jane, and then of course Darcy left right when they became friends. But no, Darcy sending her, like I said in the other video, sending her the thing for like strength in season 8 really showed that they probably wrote letters and stayed in touch and all that. Dave and Eli. Dave and Eli was a really amazing friendship, especially when Eli was helping him to, be like, play Jules, play Romeo and Romeo and Jules. And Eli really tried to help him find that side of himself. And so, the friendship was really nice. Dave and Fiona. I like Dave and Fiona. Season 12 is really the only time that they really had an interaction through I think they were they working? I don't know if they were working on the musical together, but I know that, because he was friends with Eli, and so she knew him through that. Dave and Jenna. Dave and Jenna was cute because he definitely liked her at first, and he definitely wanted to have a relationship with her. But then after a while, of course, he started dating Allie, and so she was friends with Allie, and then he was friends with Adam, who was friends with Allie and Jenna, and just all the groups run together. Dave and Tori. Dave and Tori were cute because they were working on Romeo and Jules together, and they got really close. Same thing with Dave and Tristan. They were playing the two romantic leads, so they got really close. Dave and Wesley. They had been friends for a while because obviously Connor being in that group too. They were friends for a while, and Dave was, they were mostly talking about girls and like how to, get girls and that, all that stuff. That girls are confusing. Declan and Sav. I don't really know if Declan and Sav were friends. I mean, he gave Sav the backstage tickets to the Tessas for an anniversary idea, but I don't know if they were really friends. I mean, Declan started dating Holly J, was friends with Anya again, so I guess that connection, but I don't know. Derek and Bruce the Moose. There wasn't really a friendship there. They were on the same football team, but beyond that, it's like not really. Claire and Drew. Claire and Drew, they had a friendship end of season 12 because they were president and vice president. You know, he called her his Veep and everything, and so they were president and VP, so they worked together. Claire should have never liked Drew. That should have never happened. Just forget about that. Drew and Dave, and they had a breakup at the same time and were consoling each other. Drew and Dave. Drew and Dave was nice to see. They were pretty good friends, and Drew was helping Dave through the whole Jacinta and Allie thing, and, you know, it was nice to see him helping him. Drew and Fiona. Drew and Fiona, it's really only a season 12 thing because when he's with Bianca, she's helping plan the, you know, the wedding, and he's living with Fiona, so they're becoming friends that way and all of that. Drew and Imogen. I think Drew and Imogen were just kind of friends because, you know, she was dating Fiona and he was living with Fiona and friends with Fiona, and she was also friends with Adam, so he was, you know. And then they started working on Degrassi TV together, so there's that too. A little bit working on it together, but he greenlit her project. Drew and Jake. Drew and Jake were only friends for season 11, and it really seemed like they were only friends and nowhere to run when he invited him up to his cabin. Other than that, it's just kind of like not really friends. Drew and Julian. Julian was only there for one season, so Drew was only friends with him during the Fight Club. Drew and Owen. They were on a football team together. They were in the Fight Club together. Beyond that, it's like not really. Drew and Wesley. Drew and Wesley were kind of more acquaintances, but Drew was trying to help Wesley get bid on, and then Wesley got bid on anyway. So then Drew was like, hey, you didn't need my help. Like, Eli and Adam. Eli and Adam, so sweet. They were such good friends. They did literally everything together. They had game nights with each other. He tried to help her with Claire. He tried to help her with Imogen. He tried to help everything. And Adam was just such a great friend to Eli. Eli and Connor. Eli and Connor were cute. They worked on the musical together, so then they just kind of stayed friends. And then Connor was helping him with his movie editing. No, he wasn't. Dave was. I'm sorry. Connor was just kind of would talk to Eli past that point, but you know. Eli and Dallas. Eli and Dallas didn't become friends until, and not really friends, more of acquaintances, until Eli made the video yearbook and had edited Cam back into the yearbook, and then him and Dallas hit a acquaintanceship point. Eli and Fiona. Eli and Fiona were very close, and she tried to help him, you know, apologize to everybody after she accepted his apology, and I think it was good that she was there for him. Eli and Jake. They didn't become friends until the end of season 11 into season 12 after the whole Claire thing. And, you know, he apologized to Jake, and when he helped Claire and Jake make up, that's how they kind of became, you know, closer, and then Jake invited Eli to his cabin for the party and everything. Eli and Mo. Eli and Mo, only really in that one episode where him and Jake and Mo went to the paint party, kind of. Eli and Tristan, they were only really close when they did Romeo and Jules. Beyond that point, it was kind of like Eli wasn't really there anymore, so. Emma and Shantae. Again, when Shantae went to Emma's house to hang out, was only really the only time we saw that. Liberty and Emma. Liberty and Emma had been friends forever. This is them in college, so Liberty and Emma in college, it's like, you know, you see their interactions, you see that Liberty wanted to get into a sorority and she had to get her stomach pumped, and Emma was still there for her. Same thing with Emma and Manny in college, they're still there for each other. They fight over Kelly a little bit, but then they get over it. Fiona and Bianca. Fiona and Bianca are such a cute friendship. Not only was Fiona planning their wedding, but she was trying to help her not freak out about, you know, like her and Drew stuff. Fiona and Holly J. Fiona and Holly J were some of the cutest friends because Fiona did have a crush on her for a while, but she did get over it. And even though Holly J wasn't a great person at first to be the person to try to help Fiona, you know, find a suitor, she eventually came along and eventually became a good person for Fiona, to help Fiona find someone. Because Anya, I think, having the talk with Holly J kind of helped her realize, like, hey, don't push her. And then they stayed friends past that point. Fiona came back in season 10 to try to help Holly J win the election, and so on and so forth. Fiona and Marisol, they only became friends at the end of season 11 into season 12 when the carnival actually became a success, and Marisol was like, oh, you actually did it. Like, it became a success. And then, you know, she was like, oh, I was already thinking of ways I could use you next year, but Fiona was leaving, but then Fiona was there, and she was like, Imogen doesn't want to spend time with me, and Marisol's like, you are being a static cling monster. And so she tells her, you know, it's good that you guys have different interests. Fiona and Natalie. Obviously, she's like a mom figure to Fiona. That's Imogen's mom. She's like a mom figure to her because Fiona's own mom isn't there. So she really wanted someone's mom to, you know, connect with. So then she decided to go and visit her mom and helped Imogen and her mom figure their things out. Fiona and Keisha. Oh, I'm sorry, not Fiona, my bad. Frankie and Keisha. Keisha was only really there season 13. She was there for Frankie and Zoe, but she was more there for Frankie during the trial when after Frankie testified and made Zoe seem worse on the stand, you know, and it was just, it was a mess, but Keisha was supposed to do that physical performance with them, and she did, and she was always with Frankie, but like, we never really saw much of Keisha. Grace and Lola. I like Grace and Lola. We see more of that in next class, so I'll establish more of that in next class, but they were cute. Grace and Maya. Grace and Maya were really close. There were a couple of things that annoyed me where Grace thought she knew Zig better than Maya, but even though Maya knew Zig better, but yeah. Grace and Maya were good friends, and the fact that people like them even became friends was very interesting, but Maya slowly integrated into the group, and Grace had invited her on a group outing and things like that. Grace and Tiny. Grace and Tiny were really close friends and really cute friends, and I think that both of them together worked really well because they were both kind of outsiders. Holly J and Anya. Holly J and Anya were really good friends. I just feel like one thing about it is Holly J trying to get Anya to lie about being pregnant to make Sav lose the election. That was kind of a low move, and I don't think she should have done that. And it seemed like Holly J was using Anya a lot in the friendship, but it did get a lot healthier after season 7. Holly J and Shantae. They were on the Power Squad together, and then they did that internship with Beth Grayson together. Other than that, I don't really know. And the prom celebration. Holly J and Jane, they were only friends for like a short amount of time, and that was when they were both crushing on Declan, and then she found out she was cheating, Jane was cheating on Spinner with Declan, and Holly J kept her secret, but then it came out anyway. It was a whole big mess. Holly J and Jay, so the boy Jay. They became friends because she was friends with Spinner, and Jay would come into the dot all the time, so Holly J knew who Jay was. They were cute. They were cool. Hunter and Arlene. I think Hunter and Arlene were super cute because he definitely had a crush on her. Nothing ever went farther than being friends, but I think it was definitely cute because they liked all the same things too, and he made a comic about saving her. Imogen and Maya, season 12. They were in the band together. Again, I don't know if they were really friends. Imogen and Mo. Again, they were in the band together. Don't know if they were really friends. Imogen and Winston, they were definitely friends. They worked on the musical together, his musical that he wrote, and they got really close through that, and they worked on Degrassi TV together. Jake and Allie. Jake and Allie, it was kind of starting a little bit of an attraction on Allie's side, and then they became friends because Claire started dating Jake, and Allie was Claire's friend, and then there was that whole drama, and it was a mess. Jake and Jenna. Jake and Jenna did become friends because, you know, they bonded on music when Claire thought they were getting together, and they were really just friends. Jake and Marisol. Jake and Marisol, not until really the end of season 11 into 12, but they got closer because Jake was friends with Mo, and then Jake was dating Katie, who was Marisol's best friend. Again, Jake and Mo, the cutest couple of best friends you've ever seen. Manny and Jane, super cute, season 9 when she comes back from LA and she's, you know, asking Jane, oh, who's Johnny Eyebrows, which was Declan, and just asking her about her life and just being like, who are these people? Like, what's going on? Jane and Mia, also with their boyfriends being friends, Jay and Spinner. Jane and Mia, season 8. Again, Jane was just kind of worried about Isabella and always asking, you know, Mia about that, and also, you know, just talking to Mia. Nothing really beyond that, more just talks about Isabella. Janie and the Studs consisted of Jane, Peter, Danny, Sav, and Spinner. You'll hear me talk about that band a lot. Don't really need to talk about it. I've talked about it a lot, so they're all just kind of connected. Jenna and Lisa, mom figure. Lisa Guthrie, obviously Casey's mom, was a mom figure to Jenna. Jenna did not have a mom, and so when she was pregnant, Casey's mom was trying to help her basically figure out how to handle the pregnancy. And one of the cutest lines Casey's mom said to Jenna was, "What kind of grandma would I be?" basically if she didn't try to help. Johnny and Bruce the Moose. They were kind of the closest probably out of the group. And then they started to fall apart because Johnny was maturing and Bruce wasn't. So, you know, and then Bruce disappeared. So, Casey and Allie. Casey and Allie were cute friends, especially when Allie found out that Casey liked Claire, because then she tried to get Claire with Casey and all those other things. Casey and Connor, they were cute friends until they started fighting over Claire, and then when then Connor tried to get Casey with Claire, and then it was cute again. Casey and Dave, they were very close, and that's why I will never forgive Degrassi for not putting Dave in the group of people saying goodbye to Casey outside of the school. I will never forgive them for that. Dave should have been there. Dave was so close to Casey the entire time. Like, just... Casey and Drew. Casey and Drew were only really close. Guess you could lump Dave in there when they were on the basketball team together in season 10. Yeah, season 10. And I think 11 too, maybe. I know season 10 for sure. Katie and Adam. Katie and Adam were cute friends that starred in season 11 during the fashion show. And they just kind of stayed friends. And even though Adam thought maybe Katie liked him, he didn't. But she still stayed friends with him. And she still, you know, was very sweet to him. Katie and Claire. I don't know if Katie and Claire were ever really friends. She did try to help her get back at Asher for the Asher things. But I don't know if they were ever really friends, considering she was kind of mean to her the whole time she was on the paper. Katie and Marisol, they've been lifelong friends. It's kind of like Emma and Manny. They were lifelong friends. They had a bit of a rift where Katie called Marisol a homewrecker, even though she was. She shouldn't have outed her like that. But, you know, they had a little bit of a rift there, but everything seemed to be well other than that. Kelly and Liberty. Kelly and Liberty was when they were in college, and they didn't have many interactions. Kelly and Manny. Kelly and Manny also didn't have many interactions, except Manny got a little bit of a crush on him, but it didn't go anywhere because she let Emma go after him. Lola and Frankie. Lola and Frankie were cute friends. They were on the cheer squad together, and they just seemed like they had been friends their whole life. We'll talk more about them in next class. Luke and Neil. Luke and Neil obviously did what they did to Zoe together, and that's disgusting. They were friends on the basketball team, and they're just disgusting sexual assaulters. I'm sorry, SAers. They're disgusting. Manny and Shantae. They were on Spirit Squad together, and they hung out with Emma on that day with Chester and all that. Manny and Liberty. Manny and Liberty in college, they seemed to have the same mindset of they wanted to live with different people. They wanted to experience dorm life different, where Emma wanted them all together. So they kind of seemed on the fact of we should be living with different people. Manny and Mia. Manny and Mia were pretty close. Season 8, I don't know if Manny and Mia were still close because they didn't really talk in season 8, so I don't know why they're on this list. Manny and Sav. Manny and Sav, I guess when he played for Emma's wedding with her and when he played on their road trip to California for her Crash My Party song and for the Life is a Show, but I don't really know beyond that. Oh, I guess Manny and Mia when they were going to California, Mia was there to help. Marco and Holly J in season 9 when Marco became a student teacher. Holly J was kind of like a member of his fan club according to Spinner, like got a built-in fan club. But she did kind of take advantage of him so that she could turn in something late. And then he went back on it and said, you need to turn it in now. And so, you know, then she started to respect him as a teacher. Yeah. Maya and Tiny. Maya and Tiny were cute. They're the type of people that you wouldn't expect to be friends, but they were friends, probably because of Zig and Grace, but they were super cute. Maya and Winston. You wouldn't expect Maya and Winston to be friends either, but it was probably because of the whole Miles being interested in Maya thing that happened. Mia and Leia. I liked Mia and Leia, and that's why I'm upset that Mia didn't listen to Leia and didn't leave with her and didn't take her advice. But I'm not happy that Leia told Danny Mia's personal information. That was also wrong of her. Mia and Sav. Mia and Sav, I guess you could kind of call them friends because he was like dating Anya, and I guess that's how they became friends. And also she was friends with Peter, and Peter was in a band with Sav and all this other things. Miles and Drew. I would call them acquaintances because Drew kind of more worked for Miles' father, and so he just kind of knew Miles through that. Miles and Grace. Miles and Grace kind of became friends because he asked Grace to help Maya find her cyber bully who happened to be Zoe, but I don't know if they were ever really friends. Next class is probably when they became friends. Miles and Lola. I'll call them acquaintances because they didn't really talk that much in season 14 just because she was friends with his younger sister, but in next class is when they're friends, and we'll talk about that. Miles and Winston. Miles and Winston were lifelong friends. Like Miles' mom said, I've known you since you were in diapers. Like, so they've been friends their whole entire life, and Winston was there with Miles through like everything. Especially the Maya thing when he's like, y'all should just like break up. Which I agreed with. Mo and Maya. I think Mo and Maya weren't really friends. I think they were just kind of in the band together. New Beginners. That was Zig, Maya, Tori, and Tristan. They were very close after the Maya and Tori drama about Zig, and then Tristan becoming friends with Maya also, and then Tristan trusting Zig again, and all this other crap, you know, because Zig was causing a lot of stuff. Owen and Fitz didn't really see their friendship that much. Owen and Julian, only about the Fight Club thing. Paige and Ellie. Paige and Ellie actually started to become friends with each other, and it was nice because Paige was giving her the dress to wear when interviewing Caitlyn, and, you know, they talked about Jesse hooking up with Caitlyn, and it was nice to see. Peter and Danny. Peter and Danny in the band together. Peter starts dating Mia after Danny has that weird thing with Mia, so they're on a rift a little bit. But then when Danny starts dating Leia, then Peter tries to give them a chance, but Leia lies, obviously, and he just stays friends with Danny after that. Peter and Jane. So Peter and Jane, they had a little bit of a rift, but then when she starts Janie and the Studs featuring Peter Stohn, then he kind of comes around. Peter and Riley. Peter and Riley were cute friends, and then when Riley kisses him, he gets a little freaked out. But then Mia brings into perspective, you know, he might be, you know, gay, and you still want to be friends with him. And Peter's like, yeah. So then he tries to talk to Riley. Riley won't talk to him about it. But then eventually he comes out to Peter first, and Peter's like, can't say I'm surprised, but glad you're being honest. Peter and Sav. Peter and Sav in the band together. Again, he's dating Mia. Anya's friends with Mia. It's, you know. Riley and Anya. Riley and Anya are super cute because she starts to get a crush on him and they go out. It doesn't work, but then they stay friends, and their friendship is so cute because she helps Riley try to get with Zane over and over and tries to help that relationship start and gives Riley advice over and over again on what to do about Zane. Riley and Blue, acquaintances in lifeguard class. They're not really friends beyond that, to my knowledge. Sav and Shantae. Sav and Shantae were kind of friends. I mean, they ran in the same friend group, and she started dating Danny at one point when he was with Anya, so, you know. Sav and Drew, acquaintances. They meet in season 10, and then that's basically it. Sav and Jane, they're in the band together, obviously, and she's dating Spinner. Sav and Jenna, they became friends when Jenna was pregnant, and he went to birthing class with her because Casey didn't show up. Sav and Keke Palmer, they were super cute. They obviously should have dated in that episode. Come on now, if you know what I'm talking about. They should have dated. Sav's just a really good guy, seen by what he did with Jenna, where he went to birthing class with her. He deserved somebody good. Sav and Mo, that's when they started going out, like talking together, and he started talking to Sav about Miss OOO girl because he heard the song about her and things like that, and tried to help him get with her and all that. Shay and Frankie. Shay and Frankie were on the cheer squad together, power cheer, and yeah, it seemed like they had been friends their whole life too. Shay and Lola, again, it seemed like they'd been friends with their whole lives with each other, and they were on power cheer together. Shay and Zoe, they hadn't been friends for like a long time, but they were on power cheer together, and they just kind of ran in the same group. Spike and Manny, obviously the whole friend's mom thing that we talked about last time, she was still there. She let Manny stay with them, but she was still there for Manny at that point too. We see it a little less in season 8, but Spinner and Holly J. Spinner and Holly J, they started working together, so obviously they got closer, and, you know, they helped each other out. Like, he helped her get into Jane's speech about a girl playing football. Spinner and Jay had been friends for a while. Not much to talk about in these seasons. Spinner and Jimmy. Jimmy comes back to celebrate him getting into police college before he finds out he didn't get into police college. And then he basically tries to help him get back with Jane while also asking him for help on how to propose to Trina, which I don't think he should have ended up with Trina, but whatever. Spinner and Marco. Spinner and Marco were still good friends, and I was glad to see that they were still friends, honestly, still cool with each other when Marco came to be a student teacher, you know. Spinner and Peter. Spinner and Peter, they were in the band together, and then they helped Peter. He stayed with Peter at night to help him with the, you know, last time he took meth, he was one of the people that stayed there to help, and then Peter gave him his old apartment, so then Spinner had an apartment. Spinner and Sav. Spinner and Sav were in the band together. That's about it. The Misfits, Eli, Claire, and Adam. One of the best friendships ever. I love them so much. They were so amazing. They always helped each other with everything it was so cute. So cute. The Rubber Room Kids, Zig, Maya, Tiny, Grace. I've talked about them a little bit each. They're really good friends. I know that Tiny and Zig are closer, and Grace and Maya are closer, and Maya and Zig, and, you know, they're just all good for each other. The Three Tenors, Wesley, Connor, and Dave. I've talked about them to death. Tori and Cam. Tori and Cam was one of the cutest friendships. Obviously, he was dating Maya, but even before that, they called him Cheesy. It was so cute. Tori and Maya. They were really good friends after the whole Zig thing happened, and they were always there for each other, and they shouldn't have taken Tori away from Maya. Tristan and Cam, they were just kind of friends because, you know, Tori and Maya were friends with him. Tristan and Fab, I don't know if they were really friends. I think it was more of like a crush thing, so, you know. Tristan and Grace, they definitely became friends, and I'll talk about that more next class because they're seen to be a little closer next class. Tristan and Maya, they were very close when him and Tori became friends, and then in season 12, they really hit their peak. Season 13, they fell apart because he dropped her for Zoe, then he started dating Miles after Maya did and thought that Maya was trying to steal him away, and there was a bunch of drama. Then she got, you know, she told about him and Mr. Yates, then he got mad at her, but then she apologized, and then they became friends again by the time she was dating Zig. Did that make sense? Hopefully. Tristan and Tori, they had been friends since middle school. I think they had said junior high. And so they just stayed friends. They always used to do the West Drive Experience blog together. Tristan and Zig. I think Tristan and Zig were really just friends because Zig was dating Tori and Tristan was her friend. Tristan and Zoe. He obviously dropped Maya for Zoe. Then he got Maya back, but he definitely wanted to be friends with Zoe just because she was on his favorite show. And she knew about his blogs. Wesley and Anya. Wesley and Anya were super cute. She knew he had a crush on her, but she was just super sweet with him the entire time. I loved it. Whisper Hug. Zig, Adam, Imogen, Maya, Mo. It's the band. I don't know who was friends with who. I just know that they all got along. Winston and Tristan. Winston and Tristan were kind of friends. I think it really picked up when Tristan started dating Miles, and Winston got over that whole I want my best friend thing. Winston and Zoe. Acquaintances, I would say, because they didn't really ever hang out that much. Zig and Adam. Well, until next class, but Zig and Adam. Zig and Adam, I don't know if they were ever really friends. They were in a band together, but I only remember one thing where Adam said, oh, I'm the T of the LGBT, and Zig asked what the T stood for, and Adam said it, and then that was their like only interaction. Zig and Damon. They kind of reconnect in season 14, but they were really close friends in season 12 because they both came from poor families, so they knew what it was like. Zig and Grace. Zig and Grace really became close friends when he went into the rubber room, and I just don't feel like how Grace thought she knew everything about him just because she had known him for that short period of time, like more than Maya. Of course, Maya knew more. Zig and Imogen. They were in the band together. Again, beyond that, I don't know if they really had any interactions. Zig and Mo, same thing, in the band together. Zig and Tiny, they were of course caught up in the gang together, and they, you know, were trying to get out of it together, so they started talking to the gang intervener, and they kind of tried to help them find a way out, but of course Tiny was in deeper because his brother was Vince and all of that. Zig and Zoe, I really liked Zig and Zoe's friendship. I wish they had actually started a relationship, like I wish they had let that happen, but it just never seemed to happen with them, but I really liked Zig and Zoe. Because he also helped her not unalive herself. He also found her and was like, don't do that. Zoe and Grace. So Zoe and Grace, they weren't really friends in season 13, but in 14 they were friends for the summer. And they were really cute friends, and I'm really upset that Grace didn't return Zoe's feelings, but I think she kind of let her on, and I'm kind of mad at her for that, but Zoe and Grace were cute when they were friends during the summer. Zoe and Jack. Zoe and Jack were kind of friends because they were on Power Cheer, but they didn't really interact beyond that. And Zoe and Keisha. They were kind of friends too, but they showed up for like the modeling tryouts, and they showed up when Frankie was there, but beyond that it was like, not really. Thank you guys for sticking through with me on some of those. I didn't know how long that list was going to be till I looked at it. Thank you for sticking with me. Obviously some of those I just kind of named them off and just said they were friends because of this, because there wasn't much to talk about. Again, we're talking about a lot of things, so if I forget any interactions that you guys think make them better friends, leave it down below in the comments. If I forgot about any interactions between friends that you think cement them as better, leave them down in the comments below. Always leave your opinions down there, but please be respectful to each other. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!